Hello, Fear the Mere, Cat here, and welcome to another episode of my Let's Play of the Ocarina of Time Master Quest. Now, once you go back down from Goron City, you'll find this bit here, which is quite close to Kakariko Village. I've cut out a lot of travelling around in this episode. So, you might remember that we just finished everything we could in Goron City for the moment, as well as facing the Dongo's Cavern in the last episode, so now you need to head downwards. I don't know why you're able to climb this wall. You would have thought that you wouldn't be able to get this token without getting the boomerang or the hook shot, but no, you can get it. I think in my earlier episodes I wasn't aware that it was a hook shot. I think I called it something else, but it doesn't matter now. So I already told you about this guy a few episodes ago, but I thought I might as well show it off since we need to go through Kakariko Village anyway. I'm not sure why that guy's so depressed. This is just going to be sort of a collecting stuff kind of episode. And it's about time that we pay back the Happy Mask Salesman. That big sort of church-like building that we just passed, that's the Chamber of Time, I think, or the Chamber of Sages, something like that, but that's where we need to go once we've gotten all of the spiritual stones. Temple of Time, I think it's called. I decided not, well, I'll show off one mask later, but I've decided not to show off most of them because I can't be bothered to find out what they do. As far as I know, they don't do anything helpful. It might change the comments that people make to Link, but I reckon that's probably it. I've always wondered if you're giving this mask to Skull Kid is what inspires Skull Kid to love masks and therefore to steal the Majora's Mask. That is assuming this is the same Skull Kid that's in Majora's Mask. Even if in Majora's Mask the idea that Link is dead throughout most of it is true, you still briefly meet the Skull Kid whilst he's wearing the Majora's Mask, so he just sort of disappears. I have no idea why Link's just cool with him paying that amount. I mean, if I was trying to sell the thing, I would make a big fuss about someone only paying half. And if someone wanted a small fraction off, I suppose I'd be okay with that. But getting it at half the price seems a bit excessive to me. Now, the bunny mask, which is the one we get after this one, we can't really use until we've got all spiritual stones, and Mask of Truth isn't for sale yet, so Spooky Mask is my favourite mask. It does look kind of spooky, and I just think it's cool. I don't know why that woman who's wearing blue, her head always turns as you move past, so she's always watching you. Maybe it's because Well, she looks quite like the woman who brought the dog back for near the very beginning of this Let's Play. More of the very early episodes, so maybe she's just watching you because of that. I'm not sure. And I'm just going to show off a spooky mask. This is one mask, but I think I'll probably be showing to you. See, it kind of looks cool to me. Nothing like doing cartwheels. And why does Navi again point you to that stone? That stone doesn't do anything. You might notice here that that kid does exactly what Dampé does in the way of walking, and he clearly admires Dampé from, you can guess from this conversation. See, Dampé doesn't really scare me, but then that kid looks fairly young. But yeah, Dampé's not particularly glamorous person. No offense to him, he is fictional, I don't think he'll mind that much. Now how did that kid get 30 rupees? I'm not sure. But yeah, and he doesn't have a particularly glamorous job as a gravedigger, so I don't know. Weird. More backtracking to go and pay off the money for that mask soon. Not quite yet. Now, this is the house of Skulltula, and I don't like it in here. I'm not going to be showing most of the inhabitants because most of the inhabitants are creepy. So I will just be showing off the guy whose curse is broken. I suppose in a later part I might show you what the curse does to them, but I think it's best left to your imagination if you've never played this game. I guess a pity it doesn't give you the extra 101 rupees you need to fill out the wallet, but yeah, you get that wallet after you've got 12 Skulltulas. Gold Skulltula tokens. I think I have 13 at this point. I think the next thing you get is 25. There's a heart piece available at 50, and that's the furthest I've ever gone. It's certainly available at 50 in this Master Quest version. Now, I really messed up the thing with this cuckoo, I admit. I saved the game at a time that I wouldn't normally be able to save it because I have an emulator. Perhaps I shouldn't have done so, but I did because I knew this would be tricky, and I still managed to mess it up. So I thought I would show that off. You really can't tell actually what sort of mood I'm in by the way I talk during these Let's Plays. Yeah, I'm not particularly in the mood for doing a commentary today, but it's been a while since I did one and I have the time, so I might as well. You need to aim for the correct part of the balance being here. But if that guy walks past you, you fall off, and if you fall off, you fall off. So that's annoying. I don't know why the cuckoos make that stupid sound and jump up and down for a little while before they run off. I mean, it's good that they don't run off immediately, but still they're annoying things. As far as I know, this is the only way to get one of the heart pieces. heart pieces are worth it. Usually. I'm waiting for that guy to walk past. This is the only bit that you can actually reach using the cuckoo, and then you need to walk along the balance beam carefully but still do it faster than that guy, and only then can you head off to the place you're actually trying to reach. So it is difficult, this bit, to be fair. I don't know why this person has a door here. I suppose people have balconies, but still, you would have thought, why have that door above a ledge with no fence around it at all, where you would just fall into a coop directly below if you fell down. I believe it's Impa's house. But I have forgotten who Impa is. Seriously. Who is Impa? Anyway. Seriously, heck of a lot of travelling in this episode. Alright, well, I was wrong. Apparently I don't go and give the money back for the masks yet. Never mind. It's been a few days since I recorded this, but I'm showing off how to get to Zora's River here. I feel fairly sure. You can go through the water rather than on land, but it takes longer, because unless you dive, you don't really swim, you kind of tread water. It takes ages. Even when Link turns into an adult later, you still tread water, so... I hate grass. Die. Grass. Anyway. Oh, I'm being interrupted again. I was up early this morning as well. This is annoying. I have a lot to do, and if you're someone who gets up early all the time for work or whatever, then I don't mean to sort of complain too much, but I'm feeling a bit tired. So again, not necessarily in the mood for recording this commentary. Now, to be honest, it's hardly surprising considering his location that he's not saying a lot of them. Apart from the Zora, it's very hard to get to where he is. The Zora are pretty much the only people who would find it easy. I don't know why, since this sword you literally one beam, that there appears to be 4 magic beams on there. Now, if you know your fairy tales, what do magic beans surprisingly do? Now, how popular they are is based solely on how many you buy. I always thought that was really funny. See, the way this guy does it, you don't entirely approve. It's like, okay, well, since you haven't bought any yet, I'm gonna start off selling them at a really low price to you, and then when it becomes clear that you really want them, I'll jack up the price. It doesn't seem like a great way to do it to me, but let's look at this guy. He's just sitting there eating stuff and selling these magic beans. I don't like him that much. I don't know why it tells you what to do with them every time you buy them as well. Eventually they go up to 70 rupees for one. And at this point, whilst recording, I realised I actually needed more money. So, although I was originally going to head up Zora's River at this point, I actually decided to turn back and go and do something else. So I went up to the Lost Woods here. We will be going back there to plant magic beans, which over the course of 6 years grow into a thing you can sort of ride upwards. But for now, it's about time I showed off something else, which is some insects that you can use to get gold Skulltula. There's lots of them throughout this wood. There are some underneath rocks like this, although as I said, if Navi flies over to it, that's how you can tell there's something there. And I was just checking then, and she doesn't fly over to that, so only way you can collect the insects is using these bottles, and for some reason the insects manage to multiply themselves whilst they're in the bottles, so you start off with one and they always manage to end up being 3 of them. I'm not sure why. That is another entrance to Zora's domain, but we can't go in there yet anyway because we can't dive deep enough. Now what you have to do here, which it took me ages to realise, is you need to step on the left one in order to block the attacks from the right scrub on the right hand side, and you need to step on the right hand upraised bit in order to stop the attacks from the left hand scrub. And unfortunately the scrubs hide when you get close enough to them. So you see what I mean here? And it's easier to get rid of them. You don't need the stuff they're selling, but it's easier to get rid of them in order to plant the beans and put the insects in that hole. So we'll be coming back here later once we've got the Mask of Truth, but there's no point in doing so yet. As you can see, there's 3 of them now, for some reason. And it's much easier to just collect one when you dump them all out like that. I will be showing off all of the holes that I found, but there might be 1 or 2 that I haven't. You'll be able to get your Harwap bit eventually using that, but it needs to turn into sort of pad thing first that takes 6 years to do. As wearing a mask there. Now there's no point in planting a magic bean here because it doesn't actually do anything helpful. It does let you get to those logs in front of us, those big poles that are sticking up from the ground, but they don't actually lead to anything useful. I think they make it easier to get to a bridge that you can actually get to fairly easily anyway. It's best to try to jump out of the way of the Skulltulas. I accidentally fell down, though I'll admit, I wasn't planning to do that. I accidentally fell down a second time, so I cut that bit out. Okay, I will see you in the next episode now.